So thank you, all of you that have stayed till the end. You are the hardcore student mental health enthusiasts, and I can do. So thank you for staying. I hope you'll kind of be feeling just as busy as I am. I've got this sort of really interesting task at the end of the day to try and summarise and try and say something sensible, which is quite hard when we've taken so much in, but I'll do my best. I'm really privileged to be asked to do this. I'm not going to lie, I didn't actually know what EndNote was until yesterday. So that's how little I've spoken at academic conferences, because I'll confess from the start, I'm not an academic myself. I am not a researcher, and so I see myself more as a researcher ally. So I am here because I am a big fan of what many of you do. I'm really passionate about research and really how we ensure that more research actually makes it into practice and as quickly as possible. And that's really come from my experiences at Student Minds. Many of you are familiar faces that you've interacted with us as a charity, so just briefly I'll just say that we're the UK Student Mental Health Charity, and you might have seen a mixture of our work from student-led approaches through to work to support the sector, like the University Mental Health Charter, and also our own work dipping our toe into research and policy as well. So I really want to reflect with you for the kind of next sort of 20 minutes, which is quite a big gig actually. I'm going to talk to you about how research has influenced us at Student Minds. I've got some top 5 lessons learned, which I'm hoping is not just really obvious, but people keep telling me to say that because you might be the person who said something to it. I'm then going to attempt to summarise my takeaways from today, and I've been very fortunate because some of the Student Minds team have been WhatsApping me all day, like inspiring quotes and kind of like being spies in the sessions, and full of lots of great feedback. So I'm going to summarise some of that. And then what I'd like to do at the end is reflect on where I think we go next in student mental health. Because I'm sure you're all with me in thinking that this can't end today. We've started some great conversations, we've got a lot more to do. So I'm going to start with just a little bit of a story time, I guess, and share that I wasn't really always that motivated by collecting good quality evidence, if I'm honest. I see myself very much as an impatient campaigner at heart, and so I have been known to kind of tilt towards action, and like, come on, let's just do it, let's just have a go, over being very methodical in my approach. I would say it's just my natural sway, if you like. And I do actually like a good anecdote, which I know might appall some of you. You know, one of my very first campaigns as a student union officer, many years ago now, was to get water fountains. We all need water. Water fountains across campus. But the only reason I really did that was because one day someone told me they were thirsty. So it really wasn't any yeah, I'm not ashamed of that. I'm sure it was so grateful. So I'd say it's been a steep learning curve, really. But the last 7 years have really taught me that research is absolutely critical. And there's things that, looking back now, I definitely approach differently along that journey as well. I believe that the only way for us truly to create positive change in student mental health is to put solid, high-quality research at its core. So, why is that? So, I think I really recognise now that campaigners and researchers are very much natural collaborators. And that's because those of us that want to drive or maybe shepherd change have a really huge responsibility to ensure that we push for the right change and not just what we think might be happening. And that might be very obvious to those of you in this room, but if we really want to work moving across the boundaries of our own sectors and expertise, we're going to have to make that case for everyone. And it's really important that we do because people's lives and futures really do depend on it. So, what's our doing at Student Minds? So, we've been involved with kind of more research projects than I can really remember. And having a researcher as our founder, and we heard from her this morning, and Dr. Nicola Byram, that has definitely been a big help. So we have done a lot of work with Nicola over her years. First of all, she was at Oxford, and now when she's at KCL. And we've done some work looking at what were the grand challenges in student mental health. Before that was kind of as much in the public discussion. We looked at the transition points for students experiencing eating disorders. And then more recently, we've lifted the lid on academics experiences with Gareth Hughes from the University of Derby. We've looked at the role of accommodation staff. We've looked, my colleague Dom Smithers is here, at the experiences of LGBTQ+ students. And we've also looked at graduate wellbeing, so what's that transition going from university into work. So we've had all those projects, and then of course some of you would have been to the session that my colleagues ran about the University Mental Health Charter. And that really was a hell of a research and consultation process, which, I'll be honest, I didn't think we were going to do that much. And yeah, we did more focus groups than anyone would think sensible, really. Probably for researchers designing it from the very beginning on their own, probably would have thought it was unrealistic, but thankfully those researchers have also kind of got a campaigner mindset, so that was helpful. And what I'd say was all these projects, we've achieved a lot of positive changes from those projects. So I can see now, one of the proudest days I think that I've ever had in the work I'm very lucky to do at Student was when we had the roundtable event, which was hosted by the Office of Students, where we were sharing the findings of our research on LGBT students. And as someone who's bisexual myself, being in that setting and seeing that really heard, and being able to lift and amplify the voices of those students who were brave enough to tell us their stories, it was an absolute privilege. And I know that work is making its way into universities. I know, we heard from Cardiff University where they went back and they made every recommendation in that research report a reality. So the research we're doing, it really can change the lives and experiences of students and staff too. So because of all this projects, I thought, what can I even share that is useful? Because you all have more expertise than me on research projects. So I thought, how can I share something? And I see myself as a resident cheerleader of research, so what can I share from that? So I've got five key things I'm going to run through. So the first thing I want to say to you is about co-production, and co-production being absolutely critical. And probably really obvious from the amazing student SMaRteN team, how if you put students at the forefront and genuinely empower and share power with students, you can really do incredible things. So I'm talking about non-tokenistic co-production, really recognising this is about from the start to the end of a project. It's not about going right at the last point and going, oh cool, we've been this thing in this room over here, so now what do you think? That's okay with you, isn't it? So that's not what we're here for. So we really want to make sure that that really goes through every level of a research project. But also I would extend that co-production to professionals. So I think sometimes people think they hear student minds and they think we're just about students, and I have to constantly say to people like, no, we care about staff as well, it's about the whole community. And I think sometimes, we do see research happening where, yes, it's fantastic student engagement, but why didn't you go and speak to the head of counselling and the mental health advisors on the university campus and other student services colleagues, the amazing range of professionals and practitioners that you have available to you, who really understand the practicalities of what gets in the way of turning an intervention that's worked as a research project into practice, that if you involve them throughout, that's true co-production as well. So my second piece of learning that I've had is, it's really a great sentence, you need to be relentless. So I think we all have a really great responsibility to ensure that our research is alive and kicking and out there until it is actually addressed. I think in the current political climate that's even more important. People's lives really depend on your findings making it into their lives. It does, I think back to some of the work we've done. I mentioned that eating disorders project we did several years ago. And honestly, it breaks my heart to think that I know lots of the stuff that we said then is still relevant now. And to think how many lives actually could have been saved if we had been able to get that, for example, in front of the board of the NHS and actually have that access at that time when we were a tiny little charity. So I think it's really recognising that it is about being really relentless. And I don't think it is a pipe dream for you to get the sort of work that you're doing in front of people that have a lot of influence. It's absolutely not. And I think one of the ways that we ensure it's not a pipe dream is through my third point, my segue, about collaboration. So point 3, so collaborate from start to end. So I'm not just talking about the co-production part there. So you already did that. Yes, we're collaborating with students and staff. But I guess here I'm talking about who are the other partners, who are the other stakeholders that you can be engaging with. I know it takes a lot more time, but it's definitely worth it. So many of the projects that we've done have involved your kind of tried and tested approaches. So I'm sure many of you in your recent projects, you have the steering groups, you'll have meetings and calls with people that you want to get brought into your study. But I'd say that collaboration is also about really spotting those really unusual opportunities. So for example, that I mentioned before, that roundtable that we had with the other students, it kind of came up quite randomly. I think crossed paths one day about a topic, and then we got to do this. And I think some of you might engage with charities already. I think some of you have connected with us. Sharing your paper when it's finished, when you've published, is great. We love it. We're nerds, student minds. So when you send us things to read, we love that. So please keep doing it. And that's great, but it's not enough. So I would really say, don't just come to the organisations that want to help make what you found out a reality at the end and build them into your process. You're already here, so you're already of the mindset of collaboration is cool, so just keep going with that, I think. Okay, my fourth point is about being creative. So again, I come at this from being somebody who is not a researcher, but who is really interested in the different methods that you will all be using. I was really lucky to go to Australia a couple of years ago and find out about how they were approaching student mental health. And I met a researcher called Catherine Adele, who was doing work on mental health, but it was all through arts. So she would share her research findings as a art performance, as a sort of theatre performance, getting people who'd been involved in that process, lots of painting, lots of just fun creative stuff. And it was fascinating to hear from her because it's not just that it's a fun thing to do, it's that the policymakers that she invited to those performances left the room feeling genuinely emotionally connected to what she found in her research. And they were then primed perfectly to go and make some of her recommendations a reality. So definitely try and keep pushing some of the parameters there. And then my final point, number 5, again from the mindset of a cheerleader of researchers, is to take care of yourself in the process. Should be the obvious one, but how many of us, we go to conferences around mental health and wellbeing, how often do we forget that might apply to us? I think you're all here because you're passionate about doing good work, but we're all human too, and I think we've heard really clearly throughout today some concerns around the cultures that we still have in academia, some of the pressures that can be there on, for example, PhD students, but also for their supervisors, looking at both sides of the coin, that came through really clearly in the session on PGR students. So yeah, we need to make sure that we whilst we're working our socks off, that we do that in a way that is still healthy, because a rested researcher is a good researcher, so definitely more of that. So that's some of the stuff, I guess, that we learned along the way as a kind of being involved with some of these different projects. What I thought I'd do now is, I had this in my iPad earlier which said, insert reflections from today. And I was really scared until about 20 minutes ago that I was just going to have to try and give some jokes at this point, which would be terrible for everyone. Thankfully, I've got a hell of a lot to say because this has been such an incredible day. An amazing mixture of staff and students. The work you're doing genuinely is so inspirational. And I know that there'll be more than I can even summarise here. So please forgive me. What I'd love to do is that if people keep sharing what they've got from today, I hope that SMaRteN actually publish a summary blog, some reflections, things like that. But I thought I'd give you my start of 10. I've got a few points here that come through. So key reflections from me. I think the first thing that's been really clear is the challenge of language in this area. I know that's come up in several sessions I've been in around how there's still confusion around what we mean by mental health and wellbeing. I was just in Catherine's session, where that was a really key feature. So we know that that's going on. I know that we found that challenge when developing the University Mental Health Charter. We spent a long time debating what would actually make it on the page of our own definitions. And I think we're not finished. That is, a starting point. And I hope that people listen to the suggestions in that last session, which is let's have some more of that academic debate and discussion around what those definitions mean to us. And it matters because I'm also hearing really clear from all of you is that stigma and barriers to help seeking are still very much there. Whatever we say about are people more aware of mental health, etc., we're still seeing some real tangible barriers that we need to address. So getting our language right is going to matter. The second thing that came through really strongly was around consistent evaluation and measures. I know there was a whole panel discussion on it, so I'm stating the obvious there. One thing I found really interesting in one of the sessions I was in was about, are we actually really getting the good stuff from some of our evaluations? So I think some of those of us who are more on the practical end of this and delivering projects, we hear from students all the time, oh, that workshop I went to, or that therapist I saw, that made such an impact on my life. I learned this, I did that. And in ways we're not capturing in our processes and in our assessment processes. So I think there's a lot for us to think about there, about how we do more longitudinal studies, and we capture that narrative that is sometimes missing. Next one, again, is a little repeating co-production. That one came through again very much. I think that was interesting, the fitness to practice session that was ran. Who gets to decide what actually would be seen as concerning in the student, reminding us that should be defined with the students. So I think that was a good takeaway. But also my colleagues really loved, I don't know who this is, the Open Up UEA team. Don't know if they're here. Yeah, woo, shout out to those guys. So my colleagues loved your example where you've really got students involved in constructing that intervention. So I think there's some really great practices to build on there. Another thing that's come through today was around generally like a wide conversation about university cultures. So I've heard so many times people talk about cultures of blame and fear, which is really sad. And I think people link that to different things, moving towards a more consumer kind of focus in higher education. So I think there's a challenge for all of us of how do we keep moving us forward into the more positive culture, so that we are slowing down. We're not making decisions based on just a panicked sort of state. We're actually being very thoughtful. We're looking very holistically about how you create that whole university approach, and that you therefore bring people along with you. So I think the charter team in their session were reflecting that change is definitely possible, but it's not necessarily going to be overnight, and we need to sort of keep moving those cultures along. I'm always there. A few other points. The importance of an intersectional approach, I think that case has been really well made. Some of the sessions that have been on, I know there's been discussion around experiences of Black and minority students, LGBTQ+, and looking at gender. Nicola started by looking at some of the gender differences there. I mentioned PGR as well. And I think when we think about intersectional approaches, I think that's why we could really do more to actually connect with student union. So it's really interesting to see, I know Julia Haskell mentioned in her session that her role in the student union focused on wellbeing it was the first role of its kind in SU. And I think we'd be really interested to see how can student unions, I don't think there's loads of people from SUs here, so perhaps it's a challenge to all of us is go back, speak to your SU officers and staff and try and get them involved with this. So there's some things that were key to me, and I guess my final reflection I want to make for the day is that what was really key to me is that our infrastructure is there. So, if a year ago I'd be standing here thinking, how are we actually going to do any of this? But I think we've got the infrastructure there. We've even got Basecamp. So, if nothing else, we're all going to start sending each other emojis, which is going to be lovely. Can we actually do that on Basecamp? Yeah, I think so. So we can do more of that. So we've got to make the most of that infrastructure. I know several of you in your sessions talked about setting up a community of practice, fab, a few of those already, let's get them all going. And I think if we utilise some of that infrastructure, that will help us to go forward. So we've had a lot of conversation over the last day, which has been a bit looking back or talking about what's happening now. I think our next challenge is to do more of that future visioning and looking at, you know, what research should we be doing will actually address what students are going to be like in 10 years' time. I know that's always a challenge in research, there's always a bit of that chasing our tail, but I think if we can, you know, we can start with Generation Z, who are different, who are, you know, coming forward with different values and experiences, and then go on from there. I also think we need to talk about the things that we haven't acknowledged enough today. So I think there are some areas in mental health that often get neglected that we haven't picked up. Colleague Paul was talking to me about eating disorders. I think that's again needs to be something we pick up more. I think there was Emma Robbier's session as well, picked up eating disorders and social anxiety as well. But the other areas you think we'd like to see take more focus in the future, please say that. Please, you know, put on a Twitter, put some suggestions next time, let's do this. I think other areas we haven't talked about enough are work conditions. It came up just in Catherine's session about, you know, if we are going to talk about the role of academics or supervisors, it is related to the work conditions, contracts and everything else. And I think if the us and them narrative is something that's coming through, then we need to acknowledge and validate what's going on there. But sometimes it is complicated, and what I've heard really strongly from all of you today is there's still some simple things that we can do. There's some things that, you know, the work that Glasgow's done around sleep, the work that Chloe's done around social meal times, Durham's team have looked at physical movement and how that can alleviate stress. There's some things we know now that we can get on with, so we don't have to wait too long to get going. So, from all of that, what I hope, vision for the next student mental health, we're at a really interesting point in student mental health. We've had national initiatives like the Mental Health Charter out there, which we've had to develop. We have a strategic framework coming out in the new year, rebranded as Mental Health Universities from UK. The Office of Students funded programmes, we're constantly gathering and learning together about those. Several communities of practice. SMaRteN has to be a key feature across all of that. I really hope that all of you will go back and if you're not already connected in with some of those initiatives in your own university that you can do. We'll definitely be playing our part. We've got a couple of research projects coming this year. If there's anyone here who's interested in the experience of international students or in eating disorders, please grab me because I'm desperate to connect with some researchers around this. And the final thing I want to do, miraculously on time. I'm simply I cannot believe that I've actually managed to do this on time. But the thing I really want to say is a few thank yous. I want to say thank you to all of you because you really are making a real impact. Like, I can't tell you, but you can probably see I'm just so happy. I'm just so joyous that you're all doing what you're doing and challenging. I will say to you, like, we don't shoot my skin, oh, we've cracked all of this. We want challenge for people to tell us, I've learned so much from you today, so keep going. Everything that you discover, both the things that you learn at work and the things that you learn that really like tank and don't work, all of those failures are just as important as the things that do work. I know that people say there's some research, but I don't think it's getting through. Like, failure is a big part of it, and let's celebrate some of those. You're helping us get closer to what we need to do. I want to say thank you to Cambridge for being an amazing host. This has been such an unusual and awesome venue. Like, this is a really bizarre lecture theatre. It's just great. So thank you for looking after us and catering and everything else. All of these things really give us hope, and I can't wait to see what we keep doing together after we've had a good break over Christmas, of course. The last thing I want to do is ask you to join me in thanking first, the student panel, student and SMaRteN team for all of your incredible work. It is so hard to run a conference, and you've been absolutely amazing. And two really inspiring women who were so generous and supportive to others. Nicola, who sadly had to run home to her little one, but was so enthused to be here this morning, and you've given her a massive boost, so thank you for that. And also to Laura, Leslie. Where is Laura? Laura's hiding. Laura is over there. Laura is Superwoman, and honestly, is an incredible of you. And so we join me in thanking them and the student team. And